So Stranger Things 5 Volume 1, it's officially out and it has gotten dark. Kids are missing again, Will is struggling, and Vecna's on a mission and he's gonna make sure he succeeds. So I watched it and I'm reviewing Volume 1, so let's talk about it. So Volume 1 takes place 18 months after the ending of Volume 4. Everything's in chaos, the military is completely involved, and the Upside Down is still cracking onto the surface. The buyers finally moved back from California, and everybody is finally together for the most part. The things that I liked about this volume is we learn more about what Vecna has done to Will. Will's connection to Vecna isn't just emotional anymore, it's tactical. His visions now show the whereabouts of every Demogorgon, so it gives the team more of an advantage. And seeing the opening with Vecna and understanding that he was the one that took Will recontextualizes the whole series. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this was an allegory for SA. I brought this up in like my previous reviews because I have reviews for season 1 through 4, but the whole thing with Vecna putting the particles in Will really seemed, it was disturbing. Fuck Vecna. And Vecna's acting human again. He's actually not killing people now. He's just taking kids. He's going back to his season 1 roots of how he did Will. And we see it from the perspective of Mike and Nancy's little sister Holly because she's his first target. So it gives this season more of an It and Elm Street vibe. And can we talk about how badass the Willards are? Honestly, except Mike. But Karen, she came with the heat. She has showed us that bullets won't kill a Demogorgon, but an angry drunk mom with a bottle of Chardonnay can do the job. And Mike is officially showing that he can be a leader of the group. And the parallel is cool because Nancy's the leader of the older group and Mike is the leader of the younger group, which shows that they are really from the same family. Main so just Karen, not the dad. And him finally making his little sister a party member with the Sekrick was actually a very cool parallel because he actually made Will the Sekrick in the beginning of season 1, hinting why Will got taken. And now that he made Holly that and Holly got taken, parallels are right in front of us. And we get into Eleven's story. Like, the military knowing how to neutralize her is insane because now the stakes are high with her because she can't just Jean Grey everything. Now she has to be more strategic. She has to be more on her toes because like they can literally just shut off her powers like right then and there. I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are shitting your shorts. You see that number 8 is back. You guys said season 2 episode 7 was pointless and it wasn't pushing the story forward, but in my opinion it did because it showed Eleven that she needed her friends and it made her very strong and it made her more open and she became, you know, a whole person finally. Because if you guys remember at the beginning of season 2, that's what Hopper wanted her to be, was as a whole person. And finding her lost sister does really connect everything. This does actually add a layer to the full circle of Elle's story. And listen, I think you guys are thinking what I was thinking, or maybe I'm just tripping, but Tina, I wasn't expecting her to be white, nonetheless Republican. The way that Erica was talking about her from season 2 to season 3, I really thought she was a sister too. So that caught me off guard and that was a very interesting surprise. And how they tied in her story with her little brother, because I was wondering with him too, like why did they give him a poster? And then seeing how he connects with the group, it seemed effortless because it wasn't forced. And I appreciated how him being in the group does add more layers to the story. And I know a lot of people didn't like him at first because he was always talking about suck a fat one, but he grows on you. And before I get to what I didn't like, can we talk about how this season so far talks about penises a lot? There's a lot of references. I don't know, man. Maybe Vecna just needs to get laid. Who knows? But where there's good, there's bad, and we're gonna talk about that. Dustin's emotional arc. I don't like it. I just don't like it. You guys could comment and tell me how you feel about that, but I'm gonna explain how I feel about that. I get that he's spiraling after Eddie's death. I know people grieve different. Kendrick Lamar said it. But how he's handling everything is completely fucking terrible. He's being a terrible friend to Steve, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, Steve is being a piece of shit too. It's just cause he really does love Dustin and he sees that Dustin's lying. He sees that Dustin's being shitty and he knows that Dustin is a vital point to their plan of winning, and Dustin does need to be on his toes because this is a very serious situation. So I'm always going to be team Steve. Can we talk about Lucas's hair? Why would they do that? Like, for real, why? Like, Why didn't you guys just give him a fade? It looks terrible this season. They're massacring my boy. But it's a small detail, but it is kind of distracting. But outside of that, Lucas is like very cool this season. He's aura farming, like he has that swagger. And I may be biased because like I really enjoyed season 4, but like volume 1 isn't really hitting that hard. The pacing's kind of weird, and it seems like there's just so much going on right now. Everyone's split up again, like every other season, and they're adding more characters again. So this just feels overstuffed, like my stomach on Thanksgiving. But ooh, I got some Easter eggs to talk about. So when you saw when Max went to the past and you saw that the date was 1959, and what date did you see on that? November 6th. You guys are probably wondering, what's the deal about November 6th? That was the same day Will disappeared, but obviously like, you know, like in the future. So I feel like that date plays a pivotal part to this story. And you see on the piece of paper of the play, you see a lot of familiar names. Let's go down that list, shall we? We see that the play is directed by Joyce Maldonado. Understanding that her current last name is Byers, I guess her and Lonnie didn't really finalize the divorce. Or you know, like most people, they just keep their last name that they share with their kids instead of just changing it, because this is a lot of bullshit to handle. And in the play also is James Hopper Jr., which some people didn't know who that was. They don't know that Jim is short for Jimmy, which is a nickname for James. And you have Karen using her maiden name because obviously she hasn't met Ted yet. And Ted's in here too, Ted Wheeler. And Alan Mudson, I think that's Eddie's uncle from the last season. R.I.P. Eddie. And we have Patty Newby. I honestly don't know who that is, but her last name is the same last name as my favorite character, who was gone too soon. So maybe that's like his sister or something, or maybe his cousin. We'll find out. And at the bottom, you have Henry Krill, aka One, aka Vecna. I really didn't tie that he was like the same age as the adults. I kind of thought he was probably like you know, like 5 years below them. I didn't expect him to be like in the same high school as them. But I know in season 4 they did say it was 30 years ago, but like, was he like 8? I don't know. The ages with everybody's kind of confusing. So I never know how to pinpoint anything, because Holly's in this and she's physically 10. They say she's 10, but I know in season 1 she was 3. And from season 1 to now, I think it's been like 4 years. So wouldn't she just be 7? And how old is Robin? How old is Nancy and Jonathan? How old were they? These are a lot of questions. If you guys actually know the timeline of everybody's ages from season 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, please comment below and tell me, because I know a lot of people are confused about this, and I am one of them. And you do know there's more Easter eggs in this because the story A Wrinkle in Time. If you guys haven't read that book, go check it out. I feel like Holly's story is more on the fairy tale side, so we're gonna get more aspects of that, especially since she kind of dressed like Alice, and when you did see Max, he kind of dressed like the Mad Hatter. So maybe it's gonna be like a whole fairy tale adventure that she's going to be on. And I really do like her character arc. I love her subplot. It's been really interesting. And another thing that I haven't even spoke about yet is Will has powers temporarily. Listen, because his connection to Vecna, and that really does play a part with everything, because I kind of expected this since his whole possession with the mind flare in season 2. I was waiting for him to actually like get abilities, because you know, like he was in the Upside Down, and I realized with happened to him down there, and I'm just like, he should have some form of an ability, because he has a strong connection to Vecna. And another type of form of an Easter egg is, since they didn't show it in season 1 because we hopped instantly to Will disappearing, maybe Will was seeing Vecna like Mr. What's-It, the way that Holly. I haven't really spoken about it, but the seeds were put down to show how it was until Holly did get taken the same way Will did. So maybe later on in this season we'll hear from Will talking about him knowing that this was gonna happen that way, because that's how it happened with him. Like, he did see Vecna as Mr. What's-It. Who knows? You guys can comment below and tell me how you guys feel about that too. But volume 1 has been off to an interesting start. It wasn't as fast as I'd expected it to be, but they are planting seeds for the story to expand and end on a big banger. So I can't really give it a rating right now until like the whole season's out, and I have way more to talk about when I do drop the whole season review. But you know that volume 2 comes out Christmas, and volume 3, which is the last volume, comes out New Year's Eve. And I hear that they're actually putting this last episode, which is going to be over 2 hours, in theaters, select theaters. So you guys can, check your theaters to see if it's available for you guys. But what did you guys think about Volume 1? Is there stuff that I didn't speak about that you guys caught? Did I wow you guys with the information that I just told you in this review? And if you like my vibe, comment below, like and subscribe. And I have my reviews on my page for season 1 to 4, and I do have other breakdowns on my page as well. The full review for this whole season will be dropping the day after New Year's. So subscribe for that. And I'm James Hancock, signing off.